People climb mountains for all sorts of reasons. Ego, the thrill of conquering nature's giants, the allure of standing where few have stood before. For some, it's about pushing personal limits, testing the boundaries of their endurance and willpower. For others, it's about the stories they can tell, the photos they can share, and the likes they can accumulate on social media. Bragging rights. Instagram. The digital age has turned mountain summits into the ultimate backdrop for selfies and status updates. But beyond the pixels and hashtags, there's a deeper, more primal reason that drives people to these heights. Me, I was promised yak butter tea. A taste of something exotic, something that would connect me to the ancient traditions of the mountain people. The idea of sipping tea made from the milk of yaks, animals that thrive in these harsh conditions, was both intriguing and a bit daunting. And maybe a glimpse into a world untouched by reality TV. A place where life moves to the rhythm of nature, where the air is thin but the experiences are rich. I wanted to see if such places still existed, if there were still corners of the world where modernity hadn't fully encroached. Spoiler alert, the tea was weird, and the reality was weirder. The taste was unlike anything I'd ever had, a mix of salty and buttery that my taste buds struggled to comprehend. And the village? It was a blend of the old and the new, where ancient traditions met the occasional satellite dish. Let's face it, visiting the world's highest village isn't exactly a walk in the park. The journey is grueling, the paths are steep, and the altitude can be unforgiving. Every step feels like a small victory, every breath a reminder of the thin air. It's a trek, a slog, a test of your patience and your lungs. The terrain challenges you, the weather can be unpredictable, and the isolation can be both a blessing and a curse. But with every hardship comes a sense of accomplishment, a feeling that you're part of something bigger than yourself, a test of your patience and your lungs. The higher you go, the more you realize that this journey is as much about the inner landscape as it is about the outer one. It's about confronting your own limits, your fears, and your motivations. So, why subject yourself to it? Why endure the blisters, the cold, the exhaustion? Because in the end, it's not just about reaching the summit. It's about the journey, the people you meet along the way, the stories you gather, and the memories you create. Because, dear viewer, sometimes the most absurd journeys lead to the most unexpected discoveries. It's in these moments of struggle and triumph that we find a deeper connection to the world around us and to ourselves. We learn to appreciate the simple joys, the breathtaking views, and the fleeting moments of peace. Or at least that's what I kept telling myself as I gasped for air. Each step was a reminder of why I started this journey in the first place. To find something real, something raw, something that couldn't be captured in a photo or a post. And in the end, that's what made it all worthwhile. Getting there was half the fun. Imagine a road carved into the side of a mountain by a drunken goat. Now imagine driving on it, in a bus, with chickens. I'm pretty sure I saw a yak flip me off. Every hairpin turn was a gamble. Every bump a potential hernia. And the air? Thinner than my patience after the 10th hour. But hey, at least the scenery was breathtaking. Literally. And then, there it was. Perched precariously on the edge of the world, the highest village. It felt like stepping onto the set of a National Geographic special. Except the locals weren't impressed by my fancy camera crew, or my urban sarcasm. Life here is different. People move slower, talk slower, think slower. Probably because their brains aren't getting enough oxygen. Who knew breathing could be such a chore? Let's talk food, or rather, let's talk about what passes for food at this altitude. Yak butter tea. A salty, greasy concoction that tasted like a yak licked a stick of butter and stirred it into lukewarm water. I'm told it's an acquired taste. I'm not acquiring it. Everything else seemed to be variations on a theme: barley bread, barley soup, barley stew. I swear I saw a barley dessert. I'm pretty sure I'm now part barley. Despite the lack of culinary creativity, the village was a fascinating mix of old and new. The streets were lined with traditional stone houses, their weathered facades telling tales of generations past. Yet, interspersed among these relics of history were modern amenities that seemed almost out of place. It was as if time itself had decided to take a leisurely stroll through the village, leaving behind a trail of contrasts that were both jarring and beautiful. Ancient monasteries clung to the mountainsides, prayer flags flapping in the wind. These sacred sites, with their intricate carvings and serene atmospheres, stood as silent guardians of the village's spiritual heritage. The monks, draped in their saffron robes, moved with a grace that seemed almost otherworldly, their chants echoing through the valleys and mingling with the whispers of the wind. Yet, satellite dishes sprouted from stone houses, and kids played video games powered by solar panels. It was a sight that perfectly encapsulated the village's unique blend of tradition and modernity. The children, with their eyes glued to screens, were a stark contrast to the elders who sat nearby, weaving tales of old and reminiscing about a time when life was simpler and technology was but a distant dream. Globalization, it seems, even conquers altitude sickness. The reach of modern technology had extended its tendrils into this remote mountain village, bringing with it both conveniences and challenges. While the satellite dishes and solar panels provided a connection to the outside world, they also brought with them a sense of disconnection from the village's rich cultural heritage. The locals, weathered by the harsh environment, were surprisingly welcoming. Their faces, etched with lines of experience and resilience, lit up with genuine smiles as they greeted visitors. Despite the challenges of living in such a rugged landscape, their spirits remained unbroken, and their hospitality was a testament to the strength of their community bonds. They shared their stories, their homes, and even their yak butter tea. Gathered around a crackling fire, the villagers recounted tales of their ancestors, of battles fought and won, of love and loss, and of the ever-changing landscape that they called home. The warmth of their stories was matched only by the warmth of the yak butter tea, a traditional beverage that was both comforting and invigorating. I tried to explain the concept of a city to them. They just laughed. The idea of towering skyscrapers, bustling streets, and the constant hum of urban life was so far removed from their reality that it seemed almost comical. Their laughter was infectious, and soon I found myself laughing along with them, realizing that despite our differences, there was a shared humanity that connected us all. I'm pretty sure they thought I was making it up. To them, the concept of a city was as fantastical as a fairy tale, a place that existed only in the imagination. But in that moment, surrounded by their laughter and warmth, I realized that perhaps it was I who had much to learn from them. Their simple, grounded way of life held a wisdom that was often lost in the hustle and bustle of city living. Altitude adjustment, recalibrating my perspective, and blood pressure. Being at that altitude does something to you. It's not just the lack of oxygen, it's the silence, the vastness of the sky, the realization that your problems are about as significant as a snowflake on Everest. It's humbling, and more than a little terrifying. I spent my days exploring the village, trying to communicate with a mixture of broken phrases and hand gestures, and generally feeling like I was living in a postcard. A really, really high-altitude postcard. The descent gravity, my old friend. Leaving the village was bittersweet. Part of me longed for the comfort of oxygen, real food, and indoor plumbing. The other part envied the simplicity of life at the top of the world. As the bus lurched down the mountain, I couldn't help but feel like I was leaving a part of myself behind. The journey back was just as harrowing as the journey up, only in reverse. This time, I was prepared. I popped altitude sickness pills like candy and prayed to the god of paved roads. Back to reality, where breathing is easy and jokes land flat. Back in the land of sea level and Starbucks, the world seemed strangely flat. Colors seemed brighter, sounds louder. People complained about traffic and the weather. I wanted to shake them and yell, "You have oxygen! Appreciate it!" But of course I didn't, because that would be weird. And also I was afraid they wouldn't understand. Not really. Not the way I did now. Final thoughts, wisdom from the roof of the world, or something like that. So, what did I learn from my trip to the world's highest village? It's a question that has many layers, much like the mountains themselves. At first glance, it might seem like just another adventure, another tick off the bucket list. But as I stood there, surrounded by the towering peaks and the vast open skies, I realized it was so much more than that. It was a journey into the heart of resilience, a testament to the human spirit's ability to adapt and thrive in the harshest of conditions. That yak butter tea is an abomination? Well, yes, it's certainly an acquired taste. But beyond the initial shock to my taste buds, it was a symbol of the local culture, a tradition passed down through generations. It's a reminder that sometimes the things that seem strange or unpalatable at first can hold deep significance and meaning if we take the time to understand them. That altitude sickness is a real thing? Absolutely. The thin air at such high altitudes can be a formidable adversary. It's a humbling experience, one that forces you to slow down, to listen to your body, and to respect the environment you're in. It's a stark reminder of our own limitations and the importance of preparation and acclimatization. That life can exist in the most extreme circumstances? Sure, all of that. The villagers here have carved out a life in a place where most would deem uninhabitable. Their daily routines, their smiles, and their unwavering spirit are a testament to human tenacity. It's a powerful lesson in resilience and adaptability, showing us that with determination and community, we can thrive even in the most challenging environments. But mostly I learned that sometimes the most rewarding journeys are the ones that take you out of your comfort zone. These are the journeys that push you to your limits, that challenge your perceptions and force you to grow. They are the ones that leave an indelible mark on your soul, changing you in ways you never thought possible. The ones that challenge your perceptions and leave you forever changed. Standing at the summit, looking out over the vast expanse of mountains and valleys, I felt a profound sense of awe and gratitude. It's in these moments of reflection that we truly understand the value of stepping outside our comfort zones, of embracing the unknown and the unfamiliar. Even if those journeys involve a severe lack of oxygen and an overabundance of barley, every step, every breath, every sip of yak butter tea was a part of a larger tapestry of experiences that have enriched my life in ways I could never have imagined. So, here's to the journeys that take us to the roof of the world and beyond, to the wisdom we gain along the way, and to the stories we carry with us forever.